Manuel Neuer could have and should have done much better on that goal. He does questionable things on the field. He's not the Neuer that used to be. Why would he even think about going back to Man United? He had pace, power, speed, creativity. Why are we even talking about Man United in this situation? Dortmund is a way better team, a bigger club than Man United right now. Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Talk Footy. My name is Shaheen and I'm happy to be here with you today. Today we're going to talk about the Champions League fixtures between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, as well as Dortmund and PSG. Both games were very exciting, both games were very close. All four teams had chances to win the game, so it was very tight. I personally think that it's going to be very similar for both games in the second legs. Both games are going to be tight, they're going to be close. The team that makes the least mistakes and the team that's able to capitalize on their chances is probably going to go through to the final. Now let's talk about the first game, Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich started the game pretty strong. They started creating chances right away. They had a great chance inside the first minute. But as the game went on, and as usual, Real Madrid started to grow more and more into the game. Toni Kroos just came through. A sensational, world-class, magical pass to split the lines of Bayern Munich and to play Vinicius Jr. through, who didn't even need an extra touch, and he was able to just finish one touch. It was beautiful. Real Madrid was able to settle into the game more after that goal. But let's just focus on that goal for a minute. Yes, it was a sensational pass from Toni Kroos. Yes, it was a beautiful run from Vinicius Jr. to pull out the Bayern Munich center back and then make that beautiful run right in behind them. And you can't take anything away from the finish, of course. But one thing that was very surprising was Manuel Neuer's positioning on that goal. When Bayern Munich stepped and their backline stepped, Neuer was a bit too deep. He should have been a little bit higher. And when that pass was played by Toni Kroos, it just looked like Manuel Neuer could have came and cleared that ball, because the ball was going in the direction of the goalkeeper. And if Manuel Neuer was ready and was not hesitant and was quick to react to that, even if his positioning was a little bit deep, I still personally think he could have probably got to that pass. But if his positioning was better than it actually was, he would have definitely gotten to that pass. So yes, great pass. Yes, amazing goal from Vini Jr. But I think it was very bad goalkeeping by Manuel Neuer. And this sort of thing happens quite often with Neuer recently. In the past couple of years, or ever since he's been injured, he does questionable things on the field. And this was one of them. He wasn't great on that goal. And for a goalkeeper of his caliber, for Manuel Neuer to not be ready for something like that was pretty shocking. This is one of the reasons why I think Ter Stegen should actually be the number one goalkeeper for Germany. I don't think it should be Neuer. I think Ter Stegen deserves to start. Neuer is just getting a little bit older. He's a little bit slower, and he's not the Neuer that used to be. And there's a very good goalkeeper in Ter Stegen that can potentially take that number one spot for Germany. But who am I to say? I think, yes, it was a beautiful goal by Real Madrid, but I personally believe that Manuel Neuer could have and should have done much better on that goal. And yes, you can maybe blame the backline of Bayern Munich, but I think Manuel Neuer is the big person to question. And it's very surprising that nobody has talked about this, or I haven't come across any pundit or any analyst mention this. Very surprising. Yeah, something to think about. 1-0, Real Madrid was doing good. They had more control on the ball. They had more control in the game. But obviously Bayern Munich is a great team. They have great players, and through their wingers, through Sané and Musiala, they were able to cause a lot of problems for Real Madrid's backline, especially the two fullbacks, Mendy and Lucas Vazquez, who was playing because Carvajal was suspended. They were able to punish Real Madrid. They were able to, through their creativity and speed, take advantage of Real Madrid's isolated fullbacks at times. And that's how their first goal came. Mendy was isolated. There wasn't enough support for him from the midfielders or from the left winger. And he was able to drive into the box and finish with a beautiful, powerful shot. Could Lunin do better in that goal? Maybe. But it was also a very fast and strong shot. Very difficult to stop that, to be honest, so you can't really blame Lunin that much. Second goal, similarly, Musiala on the left side drives in, Lucas Vazquez commits a foul inside the penalty box, and they're able to convert that penalty. Who else? Harry Kane, of course. But yeah, at 2-1, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. They know that they can always get into games. The oppositions also know this. They know that they're facing Real Madrid, and Real Madrid can come back in any minute. And because of that, I think they play with a bit of fear and hesitancy. And that's because Real Madrid has proved that year after year after year that you can never count them out of a game. And Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo were able to cause issues, 2 against 4-5 defenders in the box, and get their own penalty, which was the right call. So yeah, Vinicius was able to score, make the game 2-2. Very entertaining first leg. It's going to be a very interesting second leg to see who's going to be able to control the game a little bit more, who's going to be able to defend a little bit better, and who's going to be able to be more efficient with their chances in the final third and score more goals. So it can go either way, and excited to watch that game. Going to the Dortmund versus PSG game, very similar. Both teams caused issues, both teams created chances. To be honest, PSG might be a little bit upset and regret not having scored. They created a lot of chances. They hit the post a bunch of times. They should have scored. They played a game where they deserved a goal or two. But, hats off to Dortmund. They were able to absorb the pressure, defend when needed, and they were able to take their chances. And they also had chances to make it 2-0 or 3-0. So again, a tight game. A solid 1-0 win for Dortmund. But again, just like the Real Madrid Bayern Munich game, I think the PSG and Dortmund game is also going to be tight, and it's very difficult to predict. However, having said that, I think PSG might have a bit too much quality and speed in the front. If they create as many chances they created in the first game, and if they're able to take some of those chances and score some goals, they might be able to go to the final. But you never know. Dortmund's performance against Atletico Madrid in the second leg was sensational, and 4 great teams battling and fighting to get to the final. To be honest, you can say all 4 teams deserve to be there after watching them come all the way to this stage and watching them perform the way they have been performing. One player we have to talk about is Sancho. Sancho was sensational for Dortmund. He looked like the old Sancho. He looked like he was excited, he was lively, he wasn't afraid to take players on. He had pace, power, speed, creativity, and he was enjoying himself on the field. And of course, Man United has to make this about themselves. Like, why are we even talking about Man United in this situation? They're not in the Champions League. Why are they even mentioned? They have nothing to do with this. Yes, Sancho is on loan from Man U in Dortmund, but he used to be a Dortmund player. Why would he even think about going back to Man United? If I'm Jadon Sancho, I'm staying in Dortmund. Why? Because Dortmund is a much better team. He's enjoying his game and life in Dortmund. He doesn't have to think about all the unnecessary nonsense that's going on at Man United. At Man United, it's a very unhealthy, unstable environment. He doesn't have a good relationship with Erik ten Hag, just like many players don't. So there's absolutely no reason for Sancho to even consider going back to Man United. And if he does, it will be a big, big mistake. Like, literally, Dortmund is a way better team, a bigger club than Man United right now. And I might get some hate for saying this, but they really are. Man United is very, very, very average. They're not good. They don't deserve somebody like Sancho. They really don't. And what is Sancho going to do? Go from playing in the semi-final or potentially final of the Champions League to what? Play Europa League or even not that? It makes no sense. Why would he go? So it's a little bit frustrating that somehow Man United and Man United fans and coach and whatever are even mentioned in this situation, because Sancho doesn't deserve that. Sancho deserves to be applauded for the performance he had. He carried Dortmund in that game, and well done. That's the way to answer all the critics. And yeah, so sucks to be a Man United fan right now. But going back to the Champions League, 2 great fixtures coming up again next week, and I'm excited to see who makes it to the final. Hopefully Real Madrid is one of them, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Take care.